Welcome to Kidmissing TV. I am your host, Angelina Wilson. This case doesn't fall in with our New England theme, but he's from a place called Sutton. Sutton, London, England. His name is Lee Boxell. And he vanished, as I mentioned, from Sutton, London, England. Now, apparently, there was a ring of, I guess you can't use that word on YouTube, people who do illegal and unspeakable things to underage people. And they used a shed at the church, St. Dunstan's, as a club. And the gravedigger for St. Dunstan's ran this club. Okay. He was born in 1973, and he went missing on the 10th of September, 1988, at the age of 15. He was a year and a half older than me. He was last seen in the Sutton section of London, England, on Sutton High Street, before saying he was going to go watch a football match at Selhurst Park in Croydon. Football is not football. Football is actually soccer. His parents were Peter and Christine Boxell. He was 5 feet 7 inches tall. He was of slim build with light brown hair, wearing black jeans and a Flintstones t-shirt, brown suede shoes. His parents have never changed his bedroom. And he has been missing for, let's see, for 38 years. Almost 38 years, 37 years. He lived in Cheam, in the London borough of Sutton, as we mentioned, and he left his home that Saturday morning to meet a friend at 11 a.m. And spent a couple of hours window shopping, parted ways at 1 p.m. When he was leaving, Boxell said he may go to the game between Charlton Athletic Football Club and Millwall Football Club. Again, we're talking about soccer. Here in the United States, football is a very different looking game. And why we call it football, I have no idea, because other than the place kicker, nobody uses their feet in American football. So it's more closely, American football is more closely related to what Europeans and Australians and New Zealanders would call rugby. So there were extensive appeals on the BBC's Crime Watch and at Selhurst Park and other football stadiums, but no one has come forward with any confirmed sightings of him at any of the football stadiums. Somebody did see say they saw him outside a Tesco on Sutton High Street at around 2:20 p.m. So they don't think he made it to the football game by 3 for any of the 3 p.m. kickoffs. So if he was planning to go, he didn't make it. If that was him in the sighting of the Tesco. I believe that is a gas or petrol station, as they call it. In 2012, a witness came forward said he had attended the unofficial youth club again at the annex of St. Dunstan's in Cheam, known as The Shed, which the police were not aware of, and when they investigated, that's when they found a group of individuals who like to do illegal things with children. Things that would not be illegal between two consenting adults. There's a word for it. It begins with a P. And that there was a whole string of them operating in the area. William Lambert, the St. Dunstan's graveyard digger who ran The Shed, was jailed for 11 years in 2011, at the age of 75, after abusing 4 girls in an intimate manner who attended the club between June and September of 2012. The police excavated part of the St. Dunstan's graveyard, digs which resumed in April 2013. Crime Watch, as mentioned, featured the case in conjunction with what would have been his 40th birthday. That was their second appeal. Working off the theory he had attended the Shed Club, and police began working on a theory that, quote, Lee may have died after intervening to try to stop intimate abuse at a youth club in Cheam. In 2018, the spokesman from Scotland Yard confirmed that cold case detectives had interviewed a potential witness and new information was being investigated that could lead to Boxell's remains being found. He was featured in the missing persons campaign by an Italian football club, AS Roma. Don't know what AS means, but in 2001, why things are so out of order, I do not know. There was a suggested link between Lee's disappearance and the late Brian Lunfield, a abuser of children, a serial abuser of children, who had recently been arrested for the 1968 murder of Roy Tuthill. His body was found in Woodland 3 days after his disappearance. He had been abducted. An adductor is a muscle. Abducted from a street in Chesington, less than 4 miles away from Sutton, where Boxell was last seen. His mother didn't believe it because she thought Field had been imprisoned from 1987 to 1990. However, this is inaccurate. He abducted 2 boys and was sentenced to 4 years, but did not serve the whole sentence and was released in 1988. He's also suspected in the abduction and murder of Patrick Warren and that of David Spencer, 2 boys who disappeared in Solihull and West Midlands. Solihull, West Midlands in 1996, while Field was driving around in a van in the vicinity of where they were last seen. These boys have never been found. Oh boy. I'm going to go back to my own notes. His father, Peter, joined a choir made up of families, parents, and presumably siblings of the missing in the United Kingdom. And they sing for the missing. Excuse me. Sorry. That was an alarm. Okay. So yes, Lee is still very much missing. I do not have a phone number because it's a case out of the United Kingdom, and I often don't have phone numbers for those cases. Obviously, you can call Scotland Yard if you have any information. Their number should be pretty easy to find. If you want my opinion, I think it is possible that he was a part of this club, because these people were said to have been abusers of both genders of children. Abusers in an intimate manner of both genders of children. So, yeah. So yeah, that's so I do think that that is an excellent possibility. Now, with the man being a grave digger, could he have thrown him in a hole underneath another grave? Absolutely. In which case he would never be found. Although I'm not sure how you do that, because you have to put a grave on like this, a casket on this elevator thing. But if you had the body just buried a little bit and then had the casket over it, you wouldn't see it. So it's definitely a possibility, but they can't dig up every grave. If they could figure out what graves he dug during the days after, they could probably only have to dig certain ones. Would I be heartbroken if my family member had to be disinterred because there might be a child's body underneath them? Yes, but I would also allow it, to give that family their child for a proper burial instead of underneath my relative's casket. But that's my opinion. Let me know what you think. So, and I'm sure there are families who wouldn't want their loved one disturbed or whatever, but can also get a police order to do it. It's not like they're going to disturb your loved one. They're going to move the casket. They're going to look underneath, dig a couple feet underneath, you know, disturb the soil underneath more than they're going to disturb your precious loved one, in my opinion. Like I said, let me know what you think. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you Friday for our Dough Friday. And please subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 by the 4th of July. 300 over on Punky's World and 30 on Punky's Pro Wrestling. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye, guys.